Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be continuing on with our C# programming tutorial series, and in this particular tutorial we're going to be taking a look at how we can create expression-bodied accessors inside of our properties. Now, if you remember from when we covered properties before, our accessors were those get and set keywords inside of our properties. Well, we can also make those expression bodied similar to methods. Because if you remember, we can open up our accessors and give them a body if they're multiple lines. Well, much like with expression bodied methods, if your accessor only needs a single line, expression bodied accessors are probably the cleanest way to go. So let's go ahead and create a class that uses this. And so you can kind of also get an idea of how this works, right? So we're going to create a circle class, and this circle is going to have a single property. This property is going to be called it's going to be called radius. I'm a little bit tired this morning. My apologies. So this radius is going to be used in an expression-bodied method we're going to create called calculate area, and so that will calculate the area of our circle. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with this. So let's create the class inside of VS Code. So class circle public radius okay. Now, in here we're going to have our accessors. The first one we're going to do is our get accessor. That one's going to be the simplest. But first, we need to also keep in mind, too, that we're going to need a private field, and we'll create that here in a second, right? So first, get equals greater than the big, the fat arrow syntax that we use for our methods that are expression bodied. And here we will just put underscore radius. Okay. Then we'll also have set, again the big arrow, underscore radius equals value, like that. There. No, we don't want that. Okay. Now, let's create our private field. Private decimal underscore radius like that. And then we'll have a public circle decimal radius this dot underscore okay, voiceover here. We're being a bit slow here. Underscore radius equals radius, like that. Okay. Here we'll have decimal like that. Okay. Okay, and there we go. So now we have our circle class. This circle class has a private field that's of type decimal called underscore radius with a capital R. Then we have a constructor that takes in a decimal for radius. We're making sure that the radius is assigned, our private field is assigned to the value we pass into the constructor. And then we have our radius property, which uses the expression bodied syntax with the fat arrow looking thing. So we can retrieve the value and we can set the value. All right. Okay, there we go. I wanted to make sure that I got that all typed out correctly. We did not need a capital V, we needed a lowercase v there. All right. And so, with that, we can save our code. And let's go ahead and create an instance of our circle. And then we will create the method for calculating our area here afterward. So we'll say circle, we'll call it C, equals a new circle. And we'll pass it 10 for its radius. So it has a full diameter of 20. Then we can console write line C dot radius. We can then say C dot radius equals, let's say, 20. And then we again do a console write line C dot radius. Okay, save that. We go into our terminal here, and we can say .NET run. And you can see we get 10 and then we get 20 printed out. Precisely what we wanted to happen. Okay? So we know our accessors work, and that's precisely what we wanted to do. But let's go ahead and add in our expression bodied method, so you know that if you are working with a method as well, it will also work fine. Okay, so we'll say public decimal calculate area . All right, and we can say return 3.14 m times radius . All right, so we can save that. And we can .NET run that. You can see it still works precisely how we expected it to, but we didn't call the method yet. So now instead of printing out the radius property, we can say calculate area like that. Yeah, I know voiceover. Okay. We can say calculate area like that. Save it. We can clear that. And we can do a .NET run. And so there we go. Right? So that's our calculate area property, or rather our method for calculating the area. But we can make this even better here. By instead of having a method with a body, we can say public decimal calculate area equals greater than 3.14 m times radius, like that. And that is our expression bodied method, because this just needs one line. We only need to return the results of a calculation. And we can see that by running our code again. And there we go. So that pretty much does it for how we can use expression-bodied accessors inside of our properties. Thank you all so very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.